Is it good now?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Innovations such as factory automation and autonomous vehicles will result in an increase in long-term unemployment in the U.S. For starters, factory automation has been linked to a recent loss in factory jobs. In 2016, a New York Times article on this subject quoted a Harvard economist who stated that automation is doing more damage to our unemployment than immigration and offshoring. Between 1960 and 2000, U.S. manufacturing employment was stable around 17.5 million jobs. Currently, it is 26% smaller than it was in 2000. Second, public transportation and ride-sharing drivers are at risk of losing jobs. There's recent talk of autonomous vehicles or autonomous semi-trucks coming into play. If companies choose to buy these expensive vehicles, then all of the truck drivers, which is about 1.8 million, will be out of jobs. Of course, that's going to be a higher cost up front, but in the long run, they're going to be saving money on drivers. Thirdly, machine learning will also have a hand in increasing this long-term unemployment in the U.S. A study showed that an estimated 30% of work activities have the potential to be automated by 2030, and up to 375 million workers around the world could be affected by new technologies. Specifically the U.S., there was a study done at Oxford University, and that found that 47% of U.S. workers have a high probability of their jobs becoming automated.
All right, so when it comes to factory automation, you're still going to need people to do the skilled and technical part of the job. It's not going to take away jobs. It's actually going to make the workers' jobs easier. And again, when it comes to transportation automation, you're going to need someone behind that technology, controlling and monitoring that technology just in case an accident and a malfunction does happen. I mean, when you have a car, there's people on the side of the road, crossing the roads. God forbid something goes wrong and a person's not there to monitor that technology. Someone could get injured, cargo could get damaged. And then when it comes to replacing machines with regular jobs, that is not going to happen. You're going to need, that is really going to change the demand for jobs and really open up more opportunities for employers. Pass it on to you.
Yeah, I have to agree with Jason here and disagree with Morgan. I think that automation is not going to increase long-term unemployment. It's actually going to create jobs in different fields. It's also been proven factory jobs can be converted into programming jobs, and there's also been studies done that older people or programming is not necessarily a millennial thing. So as there's a greater demand for programming in the workplace, it's slowly going to become the next blue-collar job. And automation is not going to increase unemployment necessarily in the future. Rather, it'll change the jobs that are available. And about the factory jobs being converted to programming jobs, McKinsey and Company actually reported on this theory about retaining and reskilling workers in the age of automation, which ultimately concluded that factory workers were actually able to learn programming. And UC San Diego did a study which actually showed older people between the ages of 60 to 85 are motivated to learn about programming tools if it does better their lives, which is impressive. So it just shows that programming isn't necessarily a thing that's limited to younger millennials or other generations. But
with regard to the argument, saying that jobs were created in different fields, that's correct. But how many jobs will? For example, software that does accounting work will take five counting jobs, but that would be replaced with one data analyst. So they're increasing unemployment. Also, not everybody has a chance to gain those skills. So then again, that would rise to unemployment. And return to factory production, automation will lead to less jobs, even though there's different jobs opening within the factory. You know, there's still less jobs in the company. Also, it will get to a point where you need just minimal people and everything will be monitored by different sensors.